Hello everyone. In this program, we'll discuss where the swastika symbol comes from and why the Nazis used it during World War II. Before even examining the symbol itself, there's one crucial point to make. The National Socialist German Workers' Party, the NSDAP, was founded in 1920. This is the party Hitler belonged to, which ultimately propelled him to power. The emblem of this party was indeed the Gammadion cross, chosen when the party was created in 1920. Before that, National Socialism was not widely known, and the painting on which we can see Thor with a Gammadion cross was painted in 1872. It should already give you a hint. In fact, what we call the Gammadion cross is a symbol truly much older than we imagine, the swastika. The first ones we found date back to 10,000 BC near Ukraine. Overall, we find it throughout history in India, Africa, among Native Americans, Buddhists, in ancient Greece, Iran, among the Germans, in Iceland and elsewhere. In fact, we find it absolutely everywhere. But why? Unfortunately, we don't really know. There are a few theories. The simplest being that it looks nice and easy to make. But we also believe the form of the swastika evokes rotation, and from a symbolic point of view, it's very powerful because it can represent the rotation of the sky, planets, the sun, etc. Rotation can also introduce a notion of cycles and regeneration. In this case, in Iceland, it is most likely that the swastika refers simply to the course of the sun, but the meanings of it are a total mess since it is used for almost anything. In Hinduism, it can evoke both construction and destruction depending on the direction it is placed. In Buddhism, we sometimes find it on Buddha himself because it has a very positive connotation linked to merit or sometimes to the mind itself. This symbol continued during the periods of Zoroastrian rule in Iran. The motifs found in geography of Iran symbolize the sun and the manifestation of the cycle of life and luck. If you are enjoying this video, please hit that subscribe button and give it a thumb up. In Europe, before the advent of the Third Reich, it often represented a notion of luck. Born as a lucky charm, it was also found on many corporations proudly displayed in their logos. Yes, but why did the NSDAP and Hitler choose this symbol? Because very old traces of the swastika were probably found in Europe, and because some saw this symbol as perfect for the Aryan race. This so-called race was believed to be superior to others who had arrived earlier and should not intermingle with other inferior races, a prime example of human stupidity. Hitler sought to establish historical legitimacy by appropriating and modifying this symbol. He rotated it 45 degrees and incorporated it into the red, white, and black colors of the Nazis' flag. The use of a universal symbol like the swastika helped solidify the foundations of the society they aimed to create. The Nazi swastika was typically slanted to convey mobility and dynamism. In his 1925 work, Mein Kampf, Adolf Hitler writes, "After innumerable attempts, I finally determined a definitive form. A flag with a red background, a white disc, and a black swastika in the middle. Through extensive experimentation, I also established the exact proportions between the flag and the white disc, as well as the shape and thickness of the swastika." When Hitler designed the flag for the Nazis party, he aimed to incorporate both the swastika and those revered colors expressive of our homage to the glorious past and which once brought so much honor to the German nation. Red, white, and black, the colors of the old German Empire. He also declared, as National Socialist, we see our program in our flag. In red, we see the social idea of the movement. In white, the nationalistic idea. In the hooked cross, the mission of the struggle for the victory of the Aryan man and consequently the victory of the idea of creative work. The use of the swastika was rooted in the assumptions of the Nazi theorists. The assumptions they derived from the forgotten Aryan culture of the German people. According to the Scandinavian version of Aryan race theory, the Nazis claimed that the early Aryans of India, who were followers of the Vedas, were the first to adopt the swastika as a national symbol. They also claimed to be pioneers among white supremacists. There is also a theory that suggests the origin of the Indian caste system was rooted in methods that Hindus used to prevent racial mixing. The use of the swastika as a symbol of the Aryan race was first proposed by Émile-Louis. On March 14, 1933, shortly after Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany, the Nazi Party flag was raised alongside the other national colors of Germany. On September 15, 1935, this flag was recognized as the sole national flag of Germany. The swastika was a prominent feature on all Nazi German flags, especially those of the government and military. Today, the swastika is primarily associated with the Gammadion cross, which has overshadowed its other historical and cultural meanings. This has led to unfortunate incidents, such as the censorship of Pokemon cards featuring a Buddhist swastika, causing misunderstanding and misrepresentations. This is a complex and unfortunate aspect of history and symbolism, and it's important to be aware of it to prevent similar misuses of symbols in the future. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're into history, hit that subscribe button and like our channel so you never miss a video.